7 races from 29 starts. Won the red is Good One Eric. To the check, Immortal Flash, a black and white dog whelped in June 88 by Shining Chariot out of Sydney Dingaan and trained by Graham Bate at Anarchy. Immortal Flash has had only 8 starts for 5 wins and 3 minor placings. To the check, Immortal Flash. 3 the white, Fearless Flyer, a fawn and white dog whelped in March 88 by Pretty Fearless out of Berlin Babe and trained at Cranbourne by Isabel Cumrow. It's a Queensland greyhound who has found the liking to Olympic Park, and tonight Fearless Flyer will jump from box 3. Box 4 will occupy Eureka Man, a black dog whelped in January 88 by Pretty Fearless out of Pride of Guan and trained by Ken Patterson at Hillsville. Eureka Man already boasts a magnificent record, a finalist in the Skipper Silver Chief, a finalist in this year's Warragul Cup, and the winner of the Hillsville Cup. 4 the blue, Eureka Man. 5 the yellow, Bold Scopos, a fawn and white dog whelped in March 88 by City Scopos out of Rustic Ginny and trained at Tower Hill by Morris Stringer. Recorded 30.09 and 30.14 in the qualifying and heat finals and only beaten a half length here last Monday night. 5 the yellow is Bold Scopos. 6 the brown, Ravello, a black dog whelped in January 88 by Chariot Supreme out of Barb's Melody and trained at Lara by Robert Britton. Ravello won the final of the Sapphire Classic at Sandown in early April and has continued that fine form. 6 the brown, Ravello. The second last greyhound, 7 the black, Material Gain, a black bitch whelped in Feb 88 by Tangan out of Material Lass and trained at Dramana by Demetrius Stavropoulos. Scored a surprise win in the semi-final last week and it faces its biggest test tonight. 7 the black, Material Gain. And the last greyhound is 8 the pink, Sydney Noir, a black bitch whelped in April 88 by Tangan out of Ima Gabbett and trained at Chadstone by John Kelpin. Recorded the best time of the night in the qualifying trials at 29.99 and has a touch of class and wouldn't surprise tonight. 8 the pink, Sydney Noir. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, won't you please, for the competitors tonight, the owners and trainers that have the greyhounds competing in this year's Trusty Maturity Final. $60,000 series and $15,000 plus this magnificent trophy to the winner. The greyhounds will parade up now to the 511-metre boxes, and after the race, mementos will be given to all the runners from the directors of the Melbourne Greyhound Racing Association, and of course the major presentations by Mr. Bill Collins from the Greyhound Racing Control Board and Mr. Greg Corliss from our sponsored company. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Hooks will be along in just a moment with the call and the action of this year's Trusty Maturity.
Almost ready, stand by for a start. Lights on. Lure rolling, set to go. Ready. Racing Eureka Man, the favourite, away brilliantly, straight to the lead, settling down. Ravello moving up to be second, third Immortal Flash, back the inside. Good one, Eric, Bold Scapos, well back to the back, and Eureka Man the leader. A length and a half clear, Immortal Flash is second, third the outside. Ravello, 4 lengths to Good One, Eric, then Fearless Flyer. Bold Scapos followed well back by Cindy Noir. Material Gain at the tail, 100 to go. The favourites going boldly, Eureka Man, a length and a half clear. Immortal Flash the inside, then came Ravello. It's the favourite for the final, Eureka Man by 2. Immortal Flash, Ravello, then came Good One, Eric, Cindy Noir. Further back, Bold Scapos, Fearless Flyer, and one of the last in Material Gain. The first winner's 5.26, that's a great run early. Likewise, 17.80 to the back straight. And 29.82 the overall, 29.82 to Eureka Man.
Maturity this year, but we once again saw an excellent race. And I just couldn't help hearing the chappie with the second dog say he wasn't good enough. Well, not good enough in 29.82 ain't too bad. I mean, that's been a very, very good race and an excellent run on all the runners. To make the final, it was great to have them and great to see them. But there's only going to be one winner, and tonight Eureka Man has been making a name for himself with his brilliant beginning and running in races. It's certainly good to see a top dog win top races. We have here tonight our sponsors, who are now called Frisky Pet Care, and representing them we have Mr. Greg Corliss, who's, of course, that firm is the old Arnold Harper firm, which we all know. And also along on the dais we have Bill Collins, the chairman of the Greyhound Racing Control Board. So I'm certain that Bill would like to say a few words on behalf of greyhound racing in general, but before he does, all my other directors have made a presentation. I'd like to make this little memento, apart from the fine cup and the cheque to the connections of Eureka Man. I'd just like, on behalf of the MGRA, give him this little memento. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Bill Collins, the chairman of the Greyhound Racing Control Board.
Thank you very much, Les, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen a wonderful performance by a brilliant greyhound, Eureka Man, who I think tonight was having his 39th start, and he's won something like 20 of those starts with 13 placings, which is a very wonderful performance. Once again, I'd like to congratulate the Melbourne Greyhound Racing Association for staging this one of our time-honoured events, and also to you, President Les. You haven't been in very good health, and on behalf of the greyhound industry, we do wish you well indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great sponsor. It's now Frisky. We've known it as the Trustee Maturity for many, many years. Firstly, I would like to present to the winning owner this lovely trophy. We'd like you to accept that. Save your speech for a minute or two, because something that's probably more important than the trophy from the Victorian manager of our wonderful sponsor of the Trustee Maturity. Would you welcome to the microphone now Mr. Greg Corliss. Thank you. Yep.
Thanks, Bill. Chairman and Committee of the Melbourne Greyhound Racing Association, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to congratulate the Melbourne Greyhound Racing Association again for putting on a fine event. As Bill said,
Stand on its way to
I would like to thank who sponsored the race? Friskies. For the I just can't speak, to be honest. I'd just like to thank the dog, because without the dog he can't win. Thank you.
Well done, Ken. Ken Patterson, ladies and gentlemen, and to Ken's wife, a beautiful bunch of flowers. Congratulations. And also, we have some flowers that Andy will have forward now to who, Andy? To the sponsors' wives. So we thank them for also being a part of the Trustee Maturity Night tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, that completes our presentation. Eureka Man winning the Trustee Maturity for 1990, and also a big thanks to Frisky's Pet Care, who have sponsored tonight's final. 9:25 is our next race. Not too long. Greyhounds are in the parade area now. Hey.